Hey YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. This is Sun Scorpio, and today we're going to be talking about psychology, pareidolia, and perceptions. Let's begin. What is pareidolia? What is the definition for pareidolia? Pareidolia is a tendency for incorrect perception of a stimulus or an object. Commonly, it is seen as like the clouds taking the shape of an object that our minds reference. It could be like us seeing a smiley face pretty much anywhere, any surface. That's pareidolia. It can also be like the side of a tree resembling what sort of looks to us like an eye, right? Like an eye. That is pareidolia. Pareidolia also applies to sounds, the sounds we hear. So we could hear a sound that sort of sounds like sex, or a sound that's like perverted or gross, or any type of sound that makes you reference something in your mind that just goes down the gutter. That is pareidolia. Now, what I find really fascinating about pareidolia is that it is found anywhere. Pareidolia is a tendency that our minds can take the habit of, so we can better understand difficult concepts, and so we can visually interpret, what we are observing, so we can more readily understand what it is that's going on with the individual, their mind, their characteristics, and their behavior sometimes. The reason why I say behavior is because when I look at an individual, or anyone looks at any individual, and they take on attributes and characteristics of, let's say, a donkey, right? An ass, we immediately make reference to that person as an animal. So if we call somebody a bitch, and it's clearly just our observation of their behavior, their attributes, or their characteristics, it's not so much name calling as much as saying what is apparent to us. So I find it extremely fascinating that pareidolia is a real thing. So in my future videos, when you hear me referencing and talking about people as chalks, hay, flowers, roses, charcoal, or any other object, I'm using the visual illusion of pareidolia, because it is the easiest way to wrap our minds around these concepts. And keep in mind that because it's an illusion, and it can lead to name calling, but as an observer, we have to refrain from name calling, because then it defeats the purpose of observing, of people watching, of understanding, of studying behavior, of basically just understanding the point of view of the other person, and why they're being this way, why they're acting like this. It's just what we see, what is apparent. And of course there's going to be like rooted reasons to why that person's acting that way, reasons to why we see it, and reasons to why we say what's in our minds that we see. So pareidolia is something that is quite fascinating, and it's very much real. I mean, as real as our ideas and perceptions are of people, like it's real. And the more that we pay attention to these things, the more we see that even though our minds and our thoughts tend to believe reality, our mental reality is just as real. So when we mentally turn people into objects, like, the person in question will resemble that. Or even if they have slight attributes and characteristics, the fact that we see it and it's apparent will make it more real and more substantiated, because it's backed up by what we see and what we think. And after those connections are made, it's really hard to see it otherwise, or that's the only thing that we can pay attention to, because it's so real. We've made it so real. Yeah. This is as far as I want to go in the subject, because in my future videos, we're not going to be focused on pareidolia as much as the behaviors and possibly some of the causes that make us look at a person like object, which I think is going to be, I think is really interesting, because I don't want to say everyone does it, but I want to say everyone at a certain point in time has done it, or has seen it, or has, called the person out because of something that they see. So I think it's very interesting, and I definitely am looking forward to doing more videos on this subject, because again, the world is really freaking scary. People are enigmas. People will front and try to sell you their self, their person, and in reality, you're getting something different than you bargained for, or the perception and the front that this person had is, crumbling after you've gotten to know this person. But thank you so much for watching and staying till the end of this video. Stay tuned for more videos, and stay tuned for my future examples and interpretations of what I see in my life and my experiences that I've had. So hopefully somebody or anyone that does watch these videos, you are, your mind's a little bit more open-minded to the possibilities that living in a world like this. And let's just hope for the best. And thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned.